News with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, Deadline.com reports that Catholic officials in Brooklyn are seething about Pete Davidson's comments over the weekend on SNL, comparing the church's sex abuse scandals with the allegations against R. Kelly. The Diocese of Brooklyn,
how dare that?
I know, posted a statement on its website demanding SNL apologize for what it called a disgraceful and offensive skit. Now, on Saturday night, Davidson drew parallels between the clergy abuse and R. Kelly, and we played part of Davidson's bit, but that was focused on Kate Beckinsale. This was the beginning of it.
Yeah.
We have it here.
Demanding an apology. First off, does it ever really work, or does it just make you bring more light on a story you don't want to be discussed?
It works for your mom.
I would sit this one out if I was a Catholic church.
Yeah.
Let this go.
Yeah. And screaming, if you were 9, I'd nail you in the keister, doesn't help your cause either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you didn't read the rest of the...
You're right.
It
got cut off.
Was a release, a press release. But go ahead.
There's a lot of controversy surrounding recent documentaries about R. Kelly and Michael Jackson. Here with some thoughts is Pete Davidson.
How you doing, man? Hey, Colin. So, have you guys seen the R. Kelly documentary?
Yeah, Pete, I did.
Okay, now, before I continue, this guy is a monster, and he should go to jail forever. But if you support the Catholic Church, isn't that the same thing as being an R. Kelly fan? No, I don't really see the difference. Only one's music is significantly better.
So many oohs and ahs in that studio audience.
Relax. But it's also, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's not weird. We have so many things we can't make fun of anymore. We're just sort of left with Catholics and white straight dudes that we're getting. It's not like someone says, look, no more making fun of gay people, no more making fun of black people, no more Polak jokes, no more disability, no more, it's all off the table. We don't go, okay, so we'll lighten the load in our wagon of making fun of people. We go, no, we got the same payload. We just have to channel it all toward a smaller group, which is white, male, heterosexual, Catholic, whatever.
Well, and this is in the news constantly.
Yeah,
this isn't lore.
It's stupid. I mean, I get it.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's when it's brought up, I think, on a stage like that, right? And in a true comedy zone where there's obviously a lot of eyeballs on it, they probably think it's a bigger deal than it is.
But sort of what I'm saying, I'm not religious at all. I'm an atheist. But look, if you're going to pick a part of a religion that does this, like a group within the Catholic Church does this, there's a group within Muslims that beheads people, then it's got to be fair game for Muslims too, although you would never do that because you'd be you'd be fired.
Yeah.
You'd be fired. And so my thing is I want to live in a world where we get to make fun of pedophile priests, but we also should be able to do it universally for any religion we want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think specifically when a diocese is asking for an apology, when so many people are asking them for an apology.
They screwed up too much. Yeah.
Fine line.
You can't force somebody into an I'm sorry.
Also, think about statistically where you're going here. Hey, we got a whole bunch of dudes, and they're not going to marry, and they're not going to be with women, and they're just going to be around young boys. I mean, again, my whole thing, I have a young boy. You're how can this not be? I mean, how can you expect a bunch of dudes who think it's a good idea, who just go, sex with random attractive women, not for me. I'm going to put on the collar and go over here instead.
Forever.
It's not like this. So I think what we've all figured out is sexuality doesn't not exist. It just goes in a different direction. There are gay guys and there's straight guys and there's guys who like this and guys who like that, but it's never just doesn't exist.
Right.
So to say it doesn't, there's a sort of a part of religion where you just go, this doesn't exist. And it's it always exists. How's it manifesting itself?
Yeah.
Yes. My policy, AdamRay, when you have kids.
Yeah, tell me.
Is,
I'm close.
When you go... All right, there's a group of dads around.
Love that.
And you go, the Cub Scouts need, they're going up to Mount Pinos to camp for 3 days.
What's the mountain?
Mount Pinos.
Yeah.
And they need Random Mountain.
Yeah.
And they need, but specific is better. And they need someone to go up there. One of the dads has to volunteer to go up there and supervise the kids for 3 days.
Yes.
And Tim's hand goes flying up. I'll do it. You go, you're out.
Yeah.
You're out.
Why are you so eager, Tim?
Chad, you're doing it. And then Chad goes,
go.
fuck me.
The guy,
Come on.
The guy with 2 donuts slinking to the exit.
There's a great UFC fight on Saturday.
You want the dad literally.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Who literally couldn't imagine going up there. You want him to go up.
And he's pissed.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with these goddamn kids?
He's going to be. He's like, I'm just going to leave them alone.
Yeah.
Let them fend for themselves.
Good.
Perfect.
There'll be no molesting.
Yeah. What if a bear touches them, dude? Then that's bestiality, and we'll figure that out later.
So I feel the same way about we need priests that don't want to be priests.
Well, also, this is probably a bigger conversation. But
How do we
Who wants to be a priest? I'm right here. Over here. Okay,
See
you're
ya.
out.
Get out.
You're out.
Get out, Nathan.
In 2019, enough of massive parts of religion have evolved that why are nuns and priests still not allowed to be married? I mean, pastors, rabbis, everybody. He's a family man.
I don't know what the rules are. But
so maybe
I'm
we look at
bothered by
that.
them.
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I get my nun rules from Sister Act too. That's
You got to be a great tenor.
yeah.
What SNL should
Decent
do?
soprano.
What SNL should do is Father Guido Sarducci still with us?
Oh.
Send him out there.
That's a great idea.
Make a statement.
That was a great bit.
That was a great
that
bit.
guy.
The smoking priest.
With smoke. Yeah,
He was ahead of his time.
Yep.
Well, this is just breaking now. I'm sure we'll get a lot more details on it in the next day or two. NBC News reports that actresses Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman are among 50 people charged in a $25 million college entrance exam scheme.
This is a great
according
story.
to court documents. This is kind of crazy. And again,
This is a great story.
It just came out, so there might still be details missing, but I have as many as I could cobble together. So the Fed said most parents paid between $200,000 and $400,000 for this guy's help. Some payments apparently went as high as $6.5 million. All told, the investigators uncovered $25 million in bribes. The alleged scam focused on getting students admitted to elite universities as recruited athletes, whether they could play any sports or not, and helping potential students cheat on their college exams, either by having someone take it in their stead or having the proctor change their answers
There is
after.
hope for Sonny. Seriously, there's a way for celebrities to get rich people to get their dumb kids into good schools.
So, Mr. Corolla, your son is Asian? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a center
In
on
the
the basketball
mornings.
team.
Yeah.
I'll thank you not to worry about it.
Yeah.
So authorities said the FBI investigation, codename Operation Varsity Blues,
that's
uncovered
good.
a network
Topical.
of wealthy parents who paid thousands of dollars to this California man who boosted their child's chances of gaining entrance to elite colleges by
outstanding.
paying to take their tests and do all this stuff. Laughlin and Huffman
So
are
great.
charged with conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services fraud, though there's no mention of the punishment that comes along with that right now. CEOs of
Let's
some major companies
contrast
are
this
charged as well.
with the Corolla family. In terms of their involvement.
Was this guy denied a role on Full House back in the day?
How much? It was between $200,000 and $400,000.
Yes, it
That's
went
a
as
lot.
high as $6.5 million, and all told, they've just now uncovered $25
If
million.
I said to my parents when I was 17, I want to go to Der Wiener Schnitzel and get chili fries, they'd be like, "Are you insane?
What are you, a Rockefeller?"
You don't have that kind of money laying around.
Yeah.
You get a job, you want
Yeah.
chili fries. Like the $200,000 to $400,000.
This is the next wave of hiring the person with the cast on their arm to take you to Disneyland.
Yep. There's a lot of schools.
Everyone's busted wide open.
Do you have the number of schools wrapped up in this? Because
No.
I it's a lot. Like it's the USC's and UCLA's of the
let
world.
me-
It's Yale. It's Stanford. Like it's
So
big business.
What test? He was taking SATs?
He was falsifying their
They
records?
were either, according to the story, first of all, they were saying, yeah, he's an athlete, put him on the curling team.
Yeah.
Or they were having kids show up as your kid and take the test for you, or the proctor that was collecting the test would kind of do a little erasing and rewriting afterwards.
Dang, the proctor in cahoots.
Yeah.
This has,
Big business,
this has a
man.
Nick Nolte movie written all over it. Remember, like in Blue
Proctor.
Chips? Yeah.
You can pay the proctor, but that's a gamble. All right. Everybody did
Good.
that?
Can we
Real
end on
good.
that?
Yeah. Good night.
So I'm going to drop my mic stand. It's a tad.
Knock it over.
All right, so, but here's the question. You go, okay, $200,000 to $400,000. And now we've all heard that some of these schools are $65,000 a year.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the Ivy League schools are more expensive, private schools, and blah, blah, blah. So you go, well, 4 years times $65,000. Maybe your initial investment is whatever if they're on a sports scholarship. But how do you fake the sports scholarship like all the way through? Now, is the sports scholarship to get the free tuition or
to get them in the door, I'm thinking.
Yeah, because with the sports, for example, at Yale or Notre Dame or Stanford, you can get in, obviously, as an athlete with a lower score. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't this covered in the movie Soul Man? Wasn't this tactfully, sorry, covered in the movie
Juana Man? It was covered in Juana
Man and Soul Man. Like, because there's definitely going to be an element Elizabeth Warren here sort of thing where it's like, oh, no, my son is part Cherokee. Now get to the front of the line. We're going to be going for ethnicity.
I think there were different machinations for different schools. You know what I'm saying? Like if you needed to get into USC, let's say, probably a little lower than if you want to get into Yale.
Right, but the sports part was going to help financially or help get you in. But if you could fudge your SATs and fudge your test scores and your all this stuff, then couldn't you just get in anyway?
Yeah.
Where does the sports part come in? And is it a scholarship money thing?
I think it was like an a la carte menu. Like I know the story that well, but as I understand, it's like, oh, we can do the SAT thing, or we can do the scholarship
what
thing.
Route
or we
do you
can,
want to go?
We're going to get you into school.
Because even when you got killer SATs, the school might be just all full-on smart kids, right? So now you got to diversify yourself another way. So if you're like, I also curl, and they're like, whoa, and you're
now we're listening,
and you're Alyssa Milano, you're a tweet of hers.
But I don't. Yes.
Well, the other thing is, when do we get to the Bob Kraft part of this, which is, look, he was just going for a rub and tug. He didn't know it was human trafficking related. Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman being like, we just thought we were paying a regular guy to help our kid boost their test scores.
Which was a Kaplan SAT prep course.
Right, exactly.
We didn't know he was erasing.
We just went to the strip mall that everybody else goes to.
There's a lot of people got caught up in this, I think.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of emails going back and texts.
By the way, this is like the version of the PEDs. Remember when baseball players left and right, they were like Andy Pettitte, Clemens, Bonds, like people you didn't think of? Like, there's going to be a whole laundry list of actors and actresses.
This is my favorite, though. I love it. I love it because everyone else around the world's dealing with ethnic cleansing, and this is our problem. These are our problems.
Yeah. This is our problem. We're going to be like, dude, did you hear Amanda Pete's nephew was tied up in the...
He got into Brown. He shouldn't have.
That's right.
His Arizona State material.
Thankfully, all my kids got in the way they're supposed to. You know, with a sweet smile and a high five and a strong sense of street smarts, you know?
Oh, okay.
Like, look, most of my sons don't know math, you know? And I think I have sons. I have a daughter.
Well, street smarts get you into college?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Well, you go to Street Smarts University.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's upstate Brooklyn. What'd you say?
I have no... I want my kids to go to college less and less.
Yeah.
You do, huh?
I do.
There's going to be more spots now.
Yeah.
Some openings.
Well, we'll tell you as this unfolds.
Yeah. This would be interesting.
Boy.
I'm sure we got details wrong, too. The story just broke a little while ago.
Also,
literally.
if you take your kid and you falsify whatever, back with the sports thing, like you go, well, I got my kid into Brown or Yale or whatever, and this guy's a lazy sack who can barely count his fingers and toes. Like, it's like saying my dad owns the Lakers. I got you a spot on the team. But it's going to become pretty apparent pretty quick that you're not going to be able to play. You're going to flunk out, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about pushing the kid into, like, do you think these kids, like, I think there is value in being like, all right, look, they probably, like, they think spaghetti's spelled with 2 P's. Like, I'm going to take that as the L.
Like it's not.
What's that?
It's not 3 P's.
Yeah, 3 P's.
Oh, I think the power move. Here's the power move.
Or do you just, like, accept it? Or do you go, let's get them extra help? Or do you rely on them to go, I need some help with spelling? And if they don't, then you just go, that's their path. You know, like, maybe these kids didn't want the extra... You get
them.
Here's the deal.
Right.
It's all the rap. It has to be a rap. And here's what you have to do. You have to get your kid into Harvard. Then the kid's not going to be able to keep up academically. You have to have them quit almost immediately and come home. And then the rap for the rest of your life. So I got into Harvard. I was bored. I got out of there. And now it seems even smarter than the people who stayed. You just say I got bored and I went home.
That's good.
I got in. I got bored. I went home. That's better than any degree.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got, Gina Grant?
Well, Us Magazine reports that the first person released from jail as a result of the new Prison Reform Act that Kim Kardashian helped to get passed past was a man named Matthew Charles. Now, Kim recently came across an article that said Charles, who was granted clemency earlier this year, was denied housing due to his background, which included 20 years in prison because of a nonviolent drug and weapons charge. So Kim has agreed to help him get back on his feet. She contacted Charles and told him she wanted to help him by settling up, paying his apartment rent on that for 5 years. Charles says that while the rent will be covered for the next 5 years, he hopes to save up enough money to buy a house of his own. I don't know anyone who's doing more for prison reform than Kim Kardashian in the last year and a half.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I got it. You know, I mean, blowing black dudes was enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dianu,
Yeah,
as
you
we say.
could have cashed in your chips.
Yeah.
would've been enough.
You're getting into
go
heaven.
straight to
Dianu.
heaven.
Do you think she said Dianu?
I think she did not.
Yeah.
That's Jewy for what?
Enough. It would have been enough.
It would have been enough.
Dianu.
You had me at blowing the brothers. We get it. You're a fan.
Dianu.
By the way, can we add that into? Do we say that at Passover?
We do.
Can we add that into the whole spiel? I would love to hear my sweet 90-year-old Aunt Shirley go. And number 5, blowing brothers. It would have been enough, and everyone goes Dianu.
That's right.
Shirley, you sick old lady.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll leave a chair open for Charles Dutton and Elijah. But either way, you had me.
Yeah.
We got you.
Yeah.
And now you're really
rolling the dice.
Going for it. By the way, this Prison Reform Act is called the First Step Act, which you think would be easy enough. But this is what it stands for. Strap in. First Step Act. Formerly incarcerated re-enter society, transformed, safely transitioning every person act.
It's an acronym?
It sure
That's clunky.
is.
That's
Not everything
boy.
needs an acronym.
Ends with I declare. So that's the First Step Act, and Kim's very involved.
I think, didn't Ted Cruz have like an El Chapo pay for the wall act that he tried to shove into an acronym?
Yes. I don't remember what
Why
it
do
was.
people love acronyms so much? It's like a.
Here's the thing about acronyms is they're good if they work, but if they're shoehorned in and feel forced, it's like a nickname that you give yourself. Like, come on, wide cock. Nobody called you that in high school. You insisted everyone call you wide cock, and I'm not going to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody gave you that nickname.
Once in a while, you run into one of those douchebags who's Steve all day long, and then you run into him as an adult. It's like Steven. Like he tried to sell you on the Steven.
No,
and
dude.
it's like,
Come on, wide cock.
Yeah, Steve, I saw you puking your car while you were driving
That's
it.
right.
You're not Steven
You're
now.
not Steven.
Yeah, I got Steve on the mind, dude.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I
what
can't
was the
find it.
Ted Cruz? We'll find it. It was El Chapo, somehow pay for the wall acronym
Oh, boy.
that it just.
It feels very uppity, to come up with your own acronym, like to
it's
like
clunky.
a self of entitlement.
Yeah.
It's the Ensuring Lawful Collection of Hidden Assets to Provide Order Act, the El Chapo Act.
Yeah.
Boy,
there it is.
give me a break.
Clever.
Yeah. See, we saw you thinking. It's no good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you're enjoying the extra daylight in the evening now that it's daylight saving time, President Trump would like you to have it all year. The president tweeted Monday, making daylight saving time permanent is okay with me.
Oh, as long as we can go one way or the other and just stay there.
But specifically the daylight savings time way, or saving time.
Who's
That's
against
the one
this?
we
Who
want.
would be against this?
I don't.
A-holes. We want the one where there's an hour. Why should it get dark at 4 p.m. when
No.
it's already freezing cold?
Yeah, what is this,
in
Alaska
the middle of the winter?
in
Thank
1987?
you. It should always be daylight saving time. Florida has become the first state to adopt permanent daylight saving time. Washington, Oregon, California are among 24 other states weighing in on this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Last week, Florida's two senators, Marco Rubio and Rick Scott, introduced legislation to make the law nationwide. And currently, the current law allows for an opt-out, and so far Arizona and Hawaii are the only ones taking them up on it.
This is basically the parsley by the side of the plate. Like for 57 years, they had to buy parsley. Every diner had to get parsley. It's like you're serving breakfast, you got to put this sprig of parsley there. And someone go, why don't people just eat their Denver omelet without it? Are you kidding me, Stan?
This is how it's done.
Go get the parsley. Well, they're out of parsley. Well, then we'll wait. And then at some point, they just stopped.
Yeah.
And everyone went, all right.
Omelet's
Fine.
That's fine.
Then
Moved on.
Don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care. My childhood, if you ever ate out, there was a sprig of parsley by the side of the plate. No one ever touched it. Just went back to the kitchen and threw it away.
Well, technically-
But it had to be there.
How would you know?
That's true. I would look through the glass of diners and see other people eating with their sprig of parsley. That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the season of Lent means Christians are fasting and giving up certain pleasures or vices. People give up all kinds of stuff for Lent. But one Ohio man seems to be...
Hey, can we apply the ashes, on the ash? Yeah, can we do that like we apply perfume? We put a little bit on your inner wrist. Do you have to have the big smudge on your forehead?
Right on your forehead.
Is that what they do?
Yeah. It's a big ash cross on your forehead.
Every day?
No, I think it's Wednesday.
Ash
Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday. And that's kind of you go, this is me. And you go outside just to let people know that you're doing it?
Go on
you
TV.
carry on with
Because
your
I do
life.
know people, the friends of my life that have done it, they've very casually, try to bring it up in conversation, where they're like, oh man, can't wait. We should go to that new pizza place. I would love to, but I'm actually give a pepperoni for Lent.
Right.
And you're like, oh, you better with me? No, that's not what I said. I just, but you also didn't look at my forehead. You knew I was doing it.
Yeah.
Do they do it for that, or is it just to?
I don't know.
It's a part of the ritual.
It's a religious version of "I voted" sticker that you keep on your sweater all day. Like, okay, hero.
Yeah,
fine.
The reason why you're supposed to leave it on is because it's a sacrament, and it's so you're not.
Ooh,
supposed
speaking
to
of sacrament, I got a place you could put it. Or at least for the fellas. I'm just saying, I'm not interested, and I don't want to know.
And
I don't like
do
any of that.
I don't like again that like people bring it up and talking about it. It's like it's the same thing with. I always think back to before Instagram and stuff. Like if Larry Bird shot like 1,000 free throws after practice, like I doubt this day and age he'd be like just shot 1,000 free throws, like.
Hashtag grit.
Yeah. Hashtag getting it done.
Yeah.
Hashtag no pepperoni.
So this guy in Ohio is kind of doing the opposite, but going old school. For 46 days, Del Hall is only drinking beer. So beer will be the one thing on Hall's menu, and says he won't have solid food until Easter Sunday.
This isn't going to end well.
Now, he says he's taken a nod from the monks in the 1600s that would fast during the season by a Bach beer diet in place of bread. They would apparently get really thick beers, and that would replace the bread. In terms of how difficult this will be, Hall says, I'm an Army veteran. I was number 1 in my class in the Army. I've run a full marathon. I've done big challenges, but this seems very daunting. He'll still be allowed to drink water. He'll be checking in with his doctor. And, of course, he'll be documenting the whole thing on social media.
You have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm giving up parkouring at night and Aaron Carter's music.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be tough. I got to be
luck,
honest.
Man. Good luck.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to get through
Tough.
it, but with the help of my friends.
Real testament to your faith.
Yeah.
Giving up Vegemite and poi. The hero. Yeah. I
You have
agree.
to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, good. Take a stance for yourself.
Well, I think Mark Garrigus does this, by the way. He does the opposite. He always does it with booze.
Gives up the booze.
Oh, he gives up.
He gives up the booze. Didn't he talk about that? I always feel like he's...
I think anytime there's something like this where you got an excuse to maybe check in with yourself and be like, it's time to detox or just take a break.
Giving up sugar or alcohol, I
Yeah.
think, is fairly common.
All right. I like where it's
The
at.
booze thing is-
I don't like the advertising.
The booze thing is tough though, because we've all been there where he's just going to try. Wait, he said he's going to drink. Or he's going to give it up, or he's going to.
He's only drinking.
Oh, only drinking beer.
Yeah, I like that.
Wow. All right.
A lot of
Get on
bloat.
board with that.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for the kids in the school bus he drives. But,
That he's driving. Yeah.
Well, he's got a gig. You got to pay for the beer.
The Lord's watching.
That's right.
Yeah, he's going to pull up. They're like, "Hey, it's 7:15. You're supposed to be here at 7." Oh yeah.
Also, the
You know
guy
who doesn't care? This guy. Can you still drive? You're facing the wrong way.
Looks like he may be carrying around an extra 60 pounds. Like maybe this isn't the greatest move.
Something tells me he wants to drink the beer.
I think he may want to drink the beer.
You put a smoothie in there.
You know the reality is the Lent thing. It's kind of a slippery slope, and I think the rule should be you shouldn't give up. Like I go like I'm going to give up jicama and just drink beer for the entire month. Like that's a, you know who should decide? Whoever's in your life.
Great call.
You should have a panel of 3 people.
The inner circle.
Like your wife, your husband, your kid, and the neighbor all get to convene, and they'll decide what you're... Because you deciding, I think you're taking a little easy on yourself.
We do a little retrospective video, see your place, right? What you're into, interview all the people. Like, you actually can't stop doing this. You can't go without this, and then...
Yeah, and then I'm got to sit there, and they call me. They let a little puff of smoke go from the chimney when they're ready to convene, and then I show up and I'm wearing a cardigan. I got my hands clasped in front of me, and I stand there, the sort of
pious,
the sort of posture of respect, and then they go, underage porn, 30 days.
You're done.
You're done.
We'll call it 40 days with Adam Carolla because Lent's 40 days.
Oh, it's 40 days.
Yeah.
And guess
what?
But
I can only make it to 30 with the underage porn. And then I'm like, okay. And they go, hey, champ, I need the phone. And you're like, oh, yeah.
There's no kid
Hold on,
porn
let
on
me just
this.
clear the history here.
And you're not going to need that phone because you're spending the next 30 days in the woods with Tim. The dad who didn't or did want to go.
It's 40, Dawson says. Sorry. Yeah, a group should be able to. It should be
I
a
like
group,
that a lot.
and it should be like what they do with the parole.
People-
you know, we
people
got
know
someone
you.
for the community. We got the surviving victim's mother. You know, like
A representative board.
There's no honor system here.
No.
we get a mosaic from the fabric of society.
Cross-section.
You know, and we just sort of work it
good.
out.
What do you think the most intense vice is? Because we all this, drugs, porn.
Yeah.
But like, is there something? I guess you have to go to like that show, Strange Addictions, to see really what people.
How do you define intense in this case?
What's that now?
How do you define intense in this case?
I don't know, like like somebody that's like addicted to maybe eating soap. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I would be if we had the
Couch
show,
cushions.
I'd be like, yo, this is the number one thing. I think we can all agree on this. You look at the panel, you go, it's the soap thing, right? And someone's like, well, she actually hugs a little too long.
Yeah.
You're like, well, we can deal with that.
No. Happy side, she did stop swearing.
Because of the soap.
Yeah, they're going to wash your mouth out.
It's great.
All right, let's do one more.
All right. Well, Conor McGregor was arrested early Monday morning for allegedly destroying a fan's phone. According to TMZ, a man tried to snap a photo of him outside a hotel in Miami Beach. Conor responded by allegedly slapping the phone out of the man's hand and stomping on it to make sure it was dead. In his statement, his attorney calls it a minor altercation over a cell phone that resulted in a call to law enforcement. No biggie.
My thing is I'd like to live in a world that has a sort of code which would fall under poking a bear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you find a professional cage fighter and kind of go get in his grill, that's sort of on you.
Yeah. Fighters fight.
Yeah, you can ask him, would you mind taking a picture? And if he says no,
And then slaps the phone.
No, right. But if he says yes and you get shot, but that thing where everyone is just, and
In your
also
face.
it's kind of, you could, I don't know that you would actually profit on it. Like so in a world where, well, if you have this many Twitter followers, you could make some money by mentioning names of products or whatever. This theoretically could get more Facebook clicks or Twitter or whatever because you got a shot of you and Conor McGregor. Like, it is kind of his property.
Yeah. You Photoshop in some wheat thins.
Right.
We can't go without our wheat thins, me and Connor.
Right. It's kind of, you do kind of need permission.
You
Just
do.
like, I feel like you'd need Conor McGregor's permission if you want him to endorse bag gloves or something like that.
Well, that's why I feel really strongly about when you sell a picture of a celebrity to a tabloid and you make all the money and the person gets nothing.
Yeah.
I think that should just start at a 50-50 split and then we can go from there. How is that person making nothing and you're making everything off of their likeness?
Well, it's also my favorite show, TMZ. Like, they just get Harrison Ford walking out of LAX and then they film him, and that's content for their show. You could never get Harrison Ford to do your TV show, but we got him.
Right.
He didn't want to be on our show, but he's on our show. And then we go into a commercial for Tide. And it's like, we have a soap-themed show. But what I'm saying is, like, you are selling commercial space against this that's riddled with celebrities, and they're on it whether they like it or not. So
they're also like getting them to answer questions like that they would never answer on a real talk show. They're like, Harrison Ford, like, who was your favorite character on Rugrats? I don't even watch that show. You know, it's just
Angelica.
And now he's the star of your show.
Yeah.
There is also a little element of, we have this, which is, oh, he's Harrison Ford. He's a millionaire. He's fine. Like, we have this, like, he's fine.
He
And
can
it's
handle
like,
knew what
a little
he signed
bit of
up for.
and it's like, okay, but that's not how the law is supposed to work. If it's illegal to film people and use their likeness and profit off it, then that's
Should have the same
the
rule for
rule.
everybody.
That's the rule.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Connor posted bail Tuesday morning. He's out and about now. Meanwhile, just days ago, he completed probation for his last arrest. This, of course, was the attacking the bus with a hand truck over at the Barclays Center in New York. Had he violated his probation, he could have been facing real prison time and deportation. But
his community service was at church.
Oh, what was it?
I think I was watching TMZ.
Is that allowed?
And I support them. Yeah. And his community service was working at a church. I
like
do,
a soup kitchen?
I do believe.
Like a black church?
As an enforcer. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, one body of Christ per person. Come on.
What you said
one.
He yells ki and snaps to his fighting position. Double down on those wafers. The guy's running, screaming. They were stuck together.
Awesome.
What kind of phone was it? Because I feel like this could be an opportunity for them to, the same way Steve Harvey screwed up the winner of the pageant and then got a cell phone commercial, and he was like, you know, like he parlayed it. Like maybe the iPhone could be like, this phone's got a new durable case that can handle any sort of Conor McGregor whiplash, smackdown. You know,
it's good.
Right. Show some old lady being like, can I get one picture?
No, you can't.
They turn around like Mentos OtterBox.
Yeah. Manual labor, 2 churches.
All right.
Wow.
Where were the churches?
Brooklyn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And supposedly he had a long and meaningful conversation with a reverend, although they don't know what they talked about.
Oh, I'm sure.
Everyone at the church loved him.
Of course.
Really?
It's not to like.
Yeah.
He's Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. So it's not often you see Irish guys like cleaning the lawn out in the garden out of a church. But
he is a likable dude.
I think he's charismatic.
Yeah,
I would definitely say that. I don't know when his next fight is. I don't know if he's got another Floyd
Someone's taking a picture of him outside the hotel tomorrow night. So.
That's his next
fight.
fight.
Look forward to his next fight.
La Cienega at 9:30.
All right, let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina. That was the news.
Oh, my God.
With Gina Grad.